What's up, everybody? It's Clee Wop. You're listening to the Dansportsnews podcast.
This is Bilal Powell, and you're watching Dansportsnews.
No, Ferris, and you're watching Dansportsnews.
Maybe you're watching Dansportsnews.
This is Javon Cornell, you're watching Dansportsnews.
This is Maya Kino, and you're listening to the Dansportsnews and Friends podcast.
This is Elliot Cadone, and you're listening to Dansportsnews.
This is Nicole Michelle, and you're listening to the Dansportsnews and Friends podcast.
This is Jaden Gould, and you're listening to the Dansportsnews and Friends podcast.
Tell me a little bit about your new EP, which just dropped December 1st, Sin Fin. Tell me a little bit about that.
That's my first EP since I went into making Latin music, because I first started my career doing English. It's a project that is very versatile, and it has different styles. It doesn't have like a certain sound or feel. They all offer a different experience. I made it and wrote it during the quarantine time, so I got to focus on my creative side and my writing, and that's when I developed this project called Sin Fin.
And I know you're dropping a music video every week. You just dropped one 2 days ago, Viaje. Tell me a little bit about your idea for dropping a music video every week.
I'm a fan of doing things differently and not what the industry teaches you to do, which is like, promote one single at a time type thing. And I've done that. I wanted to have a different approach for this project since it's so special to me. And I'm willing to take risks in this industry to just create new ways to get creative with releasing music, right? So it's kind of like my Christmas gift to all my fans for an amazing year.
And what would you say is your favorite song on your EP?
I don't have a favorite one. It depends on the mood of the day because, like I say, they all offer something differently. But right now, the one I'm listening to the most will be Viaje, which is the music video that just dropped this Tuesday. And you still have 3 more music videos that are going to drop this month, right? Yes, it will be one for each week, and so it will be a total of 5 since we have 5 weeks in December. And you already shot those, I assume you're just going to release them? Yes. Yes. As we know, you were on the show Bravas, the series Bravas. Tell me a little bit about how that came about. The series Bravas, being an actress is something that I always wanted to do. I just didn't know when was the time that it would come. And definitely not this soon in my career. But hey, thank God that I was ready for the opportunity, right? And I got the call, and they were looking for someone that has what I represent, being able to write, to sing, to perform. They just needed to make sure that I could act, and I was able to do the casting and pass it. They loved my performance, and I was given this opportunity to do this role. So acting is something that you always wanted to do? Yeah, of course. Anything in the industry that has to do with entertainment, I love. Now, what similarities do you and your character Roja have? The age and the situations as far as like being a dreamer, being a positive influence with her friends, like just loving music, obviously being a rapper, writer, a lot of those things. Definitely not having a kid, but just being a loving person like the way she is and just her talents itself. It was something that it was easy for me to transmit in the role. And you were able to work with some other talented Latin artists like Nati Natasha, who is the executive producer, and Audrey Nix, who is one of your co-stars in the show. How was it just working with some of the other Latin artists? It was amazing, because I'm starting off my career and growing up. These are artists that I will look up to and see on television and always wish to be there one day. And when that moment comes that you are face to face to them, it's very impactful the way that they're still so humble and driven and passionate about what they do. Seeing their professionalism and kindness is something that I want to take with me as I continue on this journey so I can have that same effect on the next generation that's coming up. And you played basketball in the show. I know that's something you actually did. You played in college. How great of it was it just to, continue playing basketball in the show and have that moment where you're out there on the court? And that scene was actually not written until they knew that I could play basketball, and they told me they were going to incorporate that, which is so cool. And I love being able to represent that side of a female, where there are female girls that are tomboy that love to play basketball and they're not like girly girls. So it was super cool that I could bring those talents to this production.
Now, how much of a boost would you say this show, Bravas, the series, how much of a boost was it for your music? Did you get a lot more new listeners and stuff like that?
Yeah, of course. The show is being transmitted on Nati Natasha's YouTube profile, which obviously that gives us a lot of exposure. It definitely opened a lot of doors and getting like more fan base for the fan base to grow. So I'm super happy about it, and I hope that this is just another opportunity of many more that are about to come.
And it's not exactly a reality TV show, but would you want to do something like reality TV in the future, maybe?
I would consider it. It just depends on the timing and if it will make sense in the moment. But I'm really open to just about anything, yes.
Growing up, I know you're from Puerto Rico, so tell me about who were some of the artists that you enjoyed listening to as a kid growing up.
Well, growing up, I would listen to Daddy Yankee. I would listen to Joel Randy, Chris Brown, Usher. I had a mix of like Latin music, but still listening to that hip hop culture. Very influenced by like Michael Jackson and Rihanna and stuff like that. So with the music that I create today, it's definitely not a feel that is just completely Latin, but I get that feel of like the pop and hip hop culture all blending together.
Who were some of your favorite Latin artists growing up?
I would say Daddy Yankee it was like my top one. Wisin y Yandel for sure, and Joel Randy.
Are you familiar with the group Menudo?
Menudo, yes, of course, legendaries. Of course, everybody knows them, and they have a big impact on the Latin music.
So one of my cousins is Ralphie Rodriguez, who was actually in the group with Ricky Martin and stuff like that back in the 80s.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
And I know a lot of people these days they're not really familiar with Menudo, but I know like someone like you who's Puerto Rican would know who they are.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Now, we talked about your basketball career. Tell me about it. You played in college. How was that?
It was amazing. I grew up playing basketball. When I went to high school, I decided that I wanted to continue playing because I just wasn't done with like playing basketball. And I got the opportunity to go up into Maine, Auburn, Maine, to play basketball, then to Tampa, Florida. And really, it just taught me a lot more than just basketball, but to how to be independent, be disciplined, and being responsible, which are things that I apply now to my music career. Just that waking up early, discipline, being on time, and all those things.
Did you have any goals in your basketball career? Like, did you want to play professionally overseas or in the WNBA?
Yeah, at one point it was something that I wanted to do, but as I continue in my basketball career and developing also my music, I started to notice that I just was leaning more towards the music, and I was able to find a new passion and a new feeling that would like just make me feel better. So yeah, I started just developing the music more.
And how was that transition from basketball to music?
They always gone side to side with each other, because every time I go to a basketball game, I'm listening to music. It was something that always calmed me down and put me in a certain state of mind to be able to go and play my game. And even when I was home and not playing basketball, it was something that I would look at myself in the mirror and act like I'm giving a concert and stuff like that. So when I decided to make that transition, it was a little scary, because I'm entering a new world that I'm not exactly sure how it's going to go. But, just going with my gut feeling and knowing that, hey, like, just one day at a time, take it easy. Same way you do with basketball, you can do it if you just set your mind to it.
What do you think of these other athletes who like to rap and sing, like Damian Lillard? He's a rapper. What do you think of athletes who like to do music?
I think that's awesome. I'm nobody. There's a lot of people that like misjudge that, and they're like, oh, you should just do one thing. I'm a person that's very versatile. I'm very good at sports. I'm good at music. And these are things that just make me feel good generally. So I feel like if it makes them feel good and they're passionate about it, there's no reason not to do it. You can do whatever you want to do. And, that's the message that people need to understand. There's no limits.
Are you familiar with Carlos Arroyo, the Puerto Rican basketball player? He actually does music now as well.
Yeah. Of course, yes, definitely. And he actually is good at making music. I love some of his songs, and, it's something that I'm sure he always wanted to do, and he found the time and the moment in his life to be able to make that transition, and I think it's going great for him.
Is he somebody you would like to work with potentially in the future?
That would be amazing. Me being a basketball lover and him as well and loving music too, I think that would be so cool. We will have so much to talk about.
Do you have a favorite NBA team?
I would have to say the Golden State.
Oh, the Warriors?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite player?
Stephen Curry right now.
Do you think the Warriors are going to have a good year this season?
I always say yes because I can't say no. I can't put that out into the universe. They're going to do great, So.
What team do you think James Harden should sign with? Or should he stay in Houston?
I think he should stay in Houston. It's like, Michael Jordan times. Like, it took him a long time to develop a team, and athletes need to understand that. Like, sometimes you have to say no to money and, like, just believe in what your purpose is as being a leader on a team. And I feel like if he does that, he's going to be more impactful than what he already is.
Yeah, and John Wall joined him now. So do you think that's a good matchup with him?
I think so, yeah. If there's good chemistry and good communication and people are willing to play their role, it's always going to be good.
Now, boxing is also a big sport in Puerto Rico. Actually, might be the biggest sport in Puerto Rico. Do you watch boxing? Are you familiar with boxing?
I only watch boxing when it's like one of the Puerto Rican fights, like when Cotto used to fight, Oscar de la Hoya used to fight. I would watch Pacquiao, Mayweather, just the main top fights. Yeah, for sure.
Who are some artists that you would like to collaborate in the future?
I would love to collaborate with Rihanna. I would love to collaborate with J Balvin, Mike Towers, and Jay Cortez.
Jennifer Lopez is kind of like one of the biggest Puerto Rican celebrities that we have. Would you want to ever collaborate with her?
I would collaborate with her, of course. For sure.
And what do you think altogether the whole Latin music scene? It's really blowing up with Daddy Yankee, J Balvin, Rosalia too. Lots of people, it's like exploding. What do you think of the current stage of Latin music?
I think it's still growing even more right now. As we know that Bad Bunny was like the first time and like the #1 artist like listened to and all his albums and stuff. So I think there's a lot of work still to be done, but it continues to grow. And I love that there's some cross marketing going on right now where we're like collabing more with like the English market or even the people from Brazil, people from Argentina. Like it doesn't even have to be in English, but just other languages. And I feel like that's super, super cool.
Do you want to do more music in English or are you going to stick with Spanish for now?
No, I'm going to do music in English. I'm waiting for the right timing. I still continue to write in English to just keep developing the pen. But definitely, I'm going to do both, yes.
And what's next for you now in 2021? We know the EP is still, being finalized with the music videos, but what's next for you in your career?
I want to continue promoting my EP, giving it the attention that it needs, continue to be consistent with my work, releasing music constantly, collabing with other female artists from all Latin America, and just continue to find new movies that I can participate in and just, like I said, being consistent and keep growing in this journey.
Will there be a season 2 of Bravas or is it done?
We would love for there to be a second season. They still haven't confirmed anything, but I feel like based on the ending, it tells us that there will be one, but we just have to wait and see if it will happen.
We'll let all the listeners know where they can stream your music and follow you on social media.
Yeah, of course. Hi, guys. My name is Nohemy, and I would love for you to go check out my music on all platforms. It's Nohemy. I hope you enjoy the music. My YouTube account is full of videos, so you can enjoy that too. And I hope you guys grow with me in this journey.
Nohemy, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to do an interview.
Thank you so much. Take care.